Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the English Boost podcast. I'm Anna, your co-host, here to help you unlock the secrets of the English language, one step at a time.
And I'm Liam, the guy who believes learning English should be as fun as your favorite Netflix show, except with fewer cliffhangers and more confidence-boosting tips.
Unless that cliffhanger involves you acing your next English conversation. Today, we're tackling something foundational, practical, and dare I say, universal. Numbers and counting in English.
You might be thinking, numbers? Really? I can count to 10. But trust us, mastering numbers in English is like having a secret superpower. It's the key to shopping, scheduling, budgeting, and even making sense of cultural expressions.
Exactly. Whether you're figuring out time zones for a Zoom call or haggling at a market during your travels, numbers are everywhere. And today, we're breaking it all down in a way that's fun, simple, and, dare we say it, life-changing.
No pressure, right? But seriously, stick with us because we're not just talking about digits. We're exploring how numbers help you navigate real-world situations and sound like a pro.
So grab a cup of coffee or count how many you've already had, subscribe to our channel to get new videos every week, and let's do it.
Counting basics from 0 to a million.
All right, let's jump into the basics. Counting from 0 to a million in English. Sounds like a lot, but don't worry, we're breaking it down into bite-sized steps.
Or should I say number-sized steps? Sorry, couldn't resist. Anyway, Anna, why don't we start with the essentials? 0 through 10.
Good idea. These are your foundation numbers. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Once you've mastered these, you're already halfway there. Right, because after 10, it's just about combining numbers. 11 through 20 are the trickiest since they're unique. But after that, it's smooth sailing. 21, 22, and so on.
Exactly. And let's not forget some common pitfalls. For example, many learners confuse 13 with 30. The trick? Focus on the stress in pronunciation. 13 emphasizes the second syllable while 30 hits the first. Another pro tip, practice out loud. Hearing yourself say these numbers can make a huge difference. Plus, it'll prepare you for real-world conversations.
Great advice, Liam. And when you're ready for bigger numbers, remember this. Group them in threes. For instance, 123 is 123, while 1,234 is 1,234. Breaking it into chunks makes it less overwhelming.
And for numbers in the millions, same rule applies, just keep grouping. 1 million is 1 million. Simple, right? But hey, let's not rush to millionaire status just yet.
Not without counting all the way there. So whether you're at 0 or aiming for a million, the key is practice, patience, and confidence.
Coming up next, we'll show you how to put those numbers into action, telling time in English like a pro.
Time talks using numbers to tell time.
Okay, so now that you've got the basics of numbers down, let's talk about one of the most practical ways to use them, telling time in English. Liam, how often do you hear someone say, "What time is it?" in daily life?
Way too often. It's either that or people asking me why I'm late. Spoiler alert, it's always traffic, never my fault.
Classic Liam. But seriously, understanding how to tell time is essential. In English, it's not just about reading the clock. It's also about understanding phrases like quarter past or half past.
Right. Let's break it down. When someone says 6:15, they mean 6:15. And if they say 6:30, it's 6:30. Simple, but easy to trip up if you're not familiar with the terms.
Exactly. And if you hear 6:45, it means it's 6:45, 15 minutes before 7 o'clock. The word to always refers to the next hour.
Now, here's where it gets interesting. In some English-speaking countries, people might just say the numbers, 6:15 or 6:30. It's less formal, but just as common.
That's a great point. It's good to know both styles, so you're prepared whether someone's being precise or casual. And don't forget, AM and PM help differentiate between morning and evening.
True, though you'll often hear people skip those in casual conversations. Instead, they'll say 6 in the morning or 6 in the evening. Either way, context is key.
Exactly. And one last tip, when practicing time, try setting your daily schedule in English. For example, say out loud, "I'll wake up at 7:30 a.m. and have lunch at 12:45 p.m." It's a great way to get comfortable.
And trust me, the more you practice, the easier it gets. Up next, we're diving into another area where numbers shine: money. Get ready to count those dollars and cents like a pro.
Money matters, counting, and currency.
All right, now we're diving into one of the most important real-world uses of numbers: money. Liam, have you ever been in a situation where misunderstanding currency caused some, let's say, interesting moments?
Oh, absolutely. There was this one time I thought a sandwich was $5, and it turned out to be 50. Let's just say my credit card wasn't happy that day.
Classic rookie mistake. But that's why we're here. Understanding how to talk about money in English is crucial, whether you're reading prices, calculating totals, or even discussing budgets.
So, let's start with the basics. In English, we use dollars and cents for currency in the US, but the same principles apply to pounds, euros, or other currencies. For example, if something costs $4.99, you'd say $4.99. Easy, right?
Exactly. And for whole numbers, it's even simpler. Something priced at $20 is just $20. But be careful, prices often drop the word dollars in casual speech. You might just hear, "That's 20." Context is your best friend here.
And then there's the classic decimal trick. When you see something like $1.25, it's $1.25. The decimal separates dollars from cents, so if you're ever in doubt, just read it as two separate numbers.
Great tip, Liam. Another thing to watch for is how numbers can get big quickly. For example, $1,250 is $1,250. Breaking it into chunks like we mentioned earlier really helps.
And let's not forget about asking for prices. In English, the go-to phrase is, "How much does this cost?" or simply, "How much?" It's direct and works in almost any situation.
Absolutely. And here's a pro tip. Practice role-playing scenarios where you're buying something. For example, imagine you're at a cafe. Say, "I'll have a coffee. How much is it?" Practicing these conversations can build your confidence fast.
Up next, we'll wrap things up with some final tips to make numbers your new best friend in English.
And that's a wrap for today's episode of the English Boost podcast. We hope we've shown you just how powerful numbers can be, not just in learning English, but in connecting with the world around you.
And hey, if you mess up, no big deal. Mistakes are part of learning. Trust me, I've had my share of number mix-ups, and I'm still here hosting a podcast with Anna.
You're living proof, Liam. But seriously, we want to hear from you. What's the most challenging or funniest experience you've had with numbers in English? Share it with us on the comments. We'd love to read it.
And don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share this episode with anyone who's on their English learning journey. It helps us reach more listeners and keep boosting your skills.
We'll be back next time with even more tips, tricks, and fun conversations to make learning English an adventure. Until then, keep practicing, stay curious, and as always, keep boosting your English.
See you next time, everyone.